Hello everybody, Zach Evanish here. We are going to rock and roll with another edition of the Strong Life Podcast, aka the Strongcast, and it's time to crush it. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time outdoors as I'm doing this podcast. Going to take my dog to the park and get some fresh air, and I feel like I just pulled what I call a Joe DeFranco. Joe is, ever since I've known him, has been famous for not really being the best at sleep. He tends to work really late and work around the clock, and the past 2 nights basically found myself waking up in the middle of the night and staring at the ceiling for hours. So on that second night, I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to take this energy and put it to good use. And I just went downstairs, walked down to my office, and started working. And I went to bed at 11, as my buddy Joe DeSena says from Spartan Race. He goes, nothing good happens after 11 o'clock. Now, that's certainly not always the case. But I went to bed at 11, I woke up at 1, and I was just staring at the ceiling for what seemed like an hour, but it was more like 20 to 30 minutes. And I said, fuck it. I'm going downstairs and I'm going to fucking crush some work. And I banged out the new workout of the month for the Underground Inner Circle, the Underground Wrecking Crew. You can check that out at undergroundstrengthcoach.com. And something cool that I'll be doing for the members of the Inner Circle is right now it's early August. And in early September, I'll be launching the Underground Strength, the Encyclopedia of Underground Strength and Conditioning, and I'm freaking pumped like a madman to get that out. It's going to be distributed through Dragon Door and Amazon and probably all other online book distributors. And what I'm going to do is pick one person randomly. I'm just going to go through all the members and scroll through, and wherever it stops, I will randomly choose that person to get a free copy of the Encyclopedia of Underground Strength and Conditioning, and give you guys a little bit of an idea that it's just shy of 500 pages, and it's just shy of 1,000 photos. And there has not been a book like this produced, distributed, published, ever since Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. And it's got that same unique feel to it. It's got the stories, the inspiration, the motivation, stories that will make you laugh, stories that might make you cry, stories that will inspire you. And then there's the instruction on training, on science, on practical application, on true case studies, true life stories that have come from the Underground Strength Gym, and even the trainings of the Underground Strength Gym from the garage days. So without a doubt, I just can't wait for this book to hit the bookshelves, the bookstores, and to get into your hands. It's gonna blow you away, blow your mind. So if you're not a member of the Underground Inner Circle, get to undergroundstrengthcoach.com. It says join today. You'll see all these amazing gifts that I hook you up with. And I've been adding content to that site since 2005. And I don't think there's a membership site out there that's doing that. So without further ado, let's get into some Q&A, some questions that have been coming my way. I want to discuss my changes in training, changes in nutrition, because you might have been missing that stuff if you're not following me on social media. And really the best way, guys and gals, to get a hold of me with questions is please just reach out to me on Twitter. Facebook is unfortunately not the best, and that's just the way it works with Facebook. So if you got questions, hit me up on Twitter or reach out to me on the forum, on the Underground Inner Circle forum. Just go to the Ask Zach forum, and I want to talk about a recent journal that one of our new Underground Strength coaches put together, and man, was really inspiring. You will see it on the Zach Evanish blog. For those of you that are new listening, not the easiest to spell my name. So if you go to undergroundstrength.tv, that's the easiest way to find what we're talking about. But Logan, who's an underground strength coach, came to the level 1 certification. He kind of going through an early life crisis, not a midlife crisis, where he really is just trying to find himself and wants to get to that place where he's doing only what he loves. And that's going to really be the gist of what I want to talk to you guys about. And I wrote the blog post about it and shared his journal entry, at least one of them. And it's what I call being able to say fuck you to anybody at any time. Politely stated, you're able to say no. You're only doing the things you want to do, and you're in the place that you want to be. I'm not just talking about the place as far as where you live, but also the place internally, almost, your spirit. Are you in a good place? And the reason why I could talk with experience on this stuff is when I first experienced kind of my first hatred of being in a place, and hate is a super powerful word. I probably shouldn't even use that word, but I really despised it and couldn't find a way to see the positive, was when I was a student teacher working at the high school. I couldn't believe the amount of negative energy amongst the phys ed teachers, amongst the students going to physical education, and it just blew my mind as to how negative the environment was, and it sucked out all my energy. It sucked out my physical energy and my emotional energy. It was brutal. I was really pumped up for Fridays, and Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening grew increasingly almost like a depressed state, where I was like, just my energy was starting to sap, and I started to dread the fact that tomorrow morning I'm going to be going to this place that I want nothing to do with, and in a place where people don't want anything to do with me. And I experienced that again when I was a 5th-year teacher. I voluntarily transferred myself to the middle school for health and physical education, and again put myself in a real negative, shitty environment where it just sucked the energy out of me. And that was one of the worst health experiences of my life, not just physically, but also emotionally. I had torn my ACL when I was a middle school teacher, and I remember that was the first year that I lost my abs. I remember the stress of all that shit just fucking sucked the life out of me. So Logan started journaling his experience of really wanting to do and wanting to be only in a place that he truly loves. And he wants to travel and go to all the most kick-ass gyms around the country. And he's going to find a way to make it happen. He turned down a real cool opportunity to work at a great place in Austin. And I support the guy, and I support anybody who's willing to say, fuck it, I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to make it happen, whatever that thing is, especially if that thing is able to be leveraged into helping others, into doing good for other people. And that's what he wants to be. He wants to be an amazing, awesome, life-changing coach. And when you're young and you have that flexibility of, minimal bills, you don't have a house, you're not married, you don't have kids, you guys have the flexibility to do so much with your life and without having boundaries, especially in today's day and age compared to when I first started. There's so much free knowledge out there for you to take advantage of, to learn how to be great at whatever it is. But you could learn to run a business without having a physical address. So if Logan wants to go and travel the country in an RV, he could create a blog and journal everything that he's doing. He could promote training courses that he truly believes in as an affiliate. He can do meetups or post kind of where he's traveling, kind of as a map, and tell people, hey, if you want to train with me, I will be in this city and state on this date, and they could sign up to train with him. Steve Maxwell has been doing this for years, and Steve Maxwell has really gone in that minimalist route to the, I would say, really the ultimate level, where he doesn't even have a key. He doesn't have a key to a car. He doesn't have a key to an apartment. And that minimalist lifestyle, where you strip the bullshit away and you just get to the essential, to just what you need, is powerful. And I'm certainly not there yet, but I'm making some serious adjustments to business and to lifestyle. And that kind of minimalist approach, only the essentials, it was big time emphasized to me the first time. I'm going to give you guys some stories on some real powerful experiences, but I remember running into a guy who was earning, several $1 million a year. This was in Chicago, and he owned two companies, two separate businesses. One business was snow removal, and then the other business was landscaping. So he worked around the seasons to essentially, make do with all the seasons of Chicago. So here's what's really interesting is when I met him, he had just sold his landscaping company to focus on the snow removal company, and that same year was the year that Chicago got no snow, or at least in his area, they got no snow, which must have been a huge shocker, because Chicago, known as the Windy City, gets some pretty heavy-duty snow. He sold the landscaping business and almost doubled his income. So he removed half of his business, essentially, and then almost doubled. And what I try to really look at and really to explain here is that is the less is more approach, that you learn to maximize that one thing rather than trying to have 2 things, 3 things, 5 things, 10 things. You could do this with your training. You could do it with your lifestyle. When I'm feeling run down and beat up, I'll do 1, maybe 2 exercises. I'll do it as a couplet, and it might be a full body exercise only. It might be upper body plus lower body, or it might be full body plus a pulling motion, such as a dumbbell snatch or a barbell clean, followed by dumbbell rowing or body weight pulling, such as rope climbs and mixed grip pull-ups. And I'll use that, and I'll go with the less is more approach. But what I want you guys to start thinking about is, how can you maximize and be great at just, if I said 3 things, that would actually be a lot. You could start with 3, then you could move that to 2, and then you could really look at 1. And I'm going to give you guys another awesome example. Even though it's in business, both of these examples, and I gave you just one on fitness, you could apply it to a lot. Before I even opened the warehouse of the Underground Strength Gym, a buddy and I were hired to train the staff of a large fitness facility. It was one of those big places. So I can't remember how many coaches they had, but it was somewhere around 10 to 12 coaches. And one of the coaches that was there, his name is Mike Geary. And I had known Mike a little bit from being at a conference held by Ryan Lee, and he was just there in attendance. And Mike was a coach part-time. His full-time gig was some sort of engineering gig. And not long after, he left his part-time coaching gig, and he also left his gig as an engineer because he created this one ebook called Truth About Abs. And he learned how to use Google AdWords, and he became a master at it. He created that ebook. He got great at Google AdWords. And in turn, that book started bringing him income of over $1 million per month. That is not a mistake. And now I think he's making up to several $1 million per month. And he does have several different courses that he sells now. But that first thing was he just stuck to one thing. Whereas I look back and I had multiple training products, whether it was DVDs, seminars, ebooks. I had all these different things going on. And I'll tell you what, when you have all these different things going on, whether it's business, whether it's life, you will not be great at them. You might be good, but you won't be great. And that's why you may have seen me get a little bit quieter lately. I don't have a whole lot of products that are being released. I try to keep things extremely focused and streamlined. Any really new product goes into the underground inner circle. I've got my certification, which we're going to keep rolling with, and we've got some cool stuff coming out with that. You guys that are aspiring coaches or existing strength coaches, you want to check that out at undergroundstrength.org. And I don't want to really give away the big announcement yet. I will announce soon, I promise. But there's something really big going on with the Underground Strength Coach certification. And I'm probably going to be minimizing all the things I do. So rather than constantly writing sales letters and all these things for products, that's really shit that I hate to do, but it's unfortunately a necessary part of the creation and getting your information out there. I love, getting people results, changing their lives through strength. And if I don't enjoy doing something, then I'm going to streamline it and either find somebody else to do it, outsource it, or just remove it completely. And that's something I want you guys to do as soon as we end this Strong Life podcast, is I want you to look at the shit that just doesn't deliver change, that doesn't get you to that, I'm not sure what the words would be, but the bottom fucking line. Like, it doesn't bring you to the main objective. The thing or things that don't bring you to the main objective, I want you to start testing how to remove them. And the way I like to test things is in 30 days. You could do a little bit shorter time. Could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But a 30-day test would be awesome. So if you're utilizing something or implementing something in your life, in your training, in your business, in your health, your nutrition, and so on, and it's not something that's delivering big results, it's not something that's impacting in a big way, I want you to chuck that, put it to the side, test drive it. If it helps you to get rid of it, then you know to never, or I don't want to say never, then you know to get rid of that. Maybe you could come back to it down the road. And I want you to whittle away month by month, week by week, haul some ass with this, don't be too slow, and start getting rid of the unnecessary. Start looking at a minimalist lifestyle. That doesn't mean you're lazy, sitting around doing nothing. It means that you take the select few and you turn them and transform them and leverage them into awesome. So I want you to think about Mike Geary. He didn't have 5, 10, or even 2 ebooks. He had 1 ebook and he fucking dominated. I want you to think about the guy that I met in Chicago, the guy that was selling his landscaping business and just focusing on snow removal. And he focused on snow removal during a time when it didn't even snow. How could you do this with training? How could you do this with lifestyle in general? And how could you do this with nutrition? And I'm going to close out with some of the nutrition stuff that I've changed. And make sure you're following those videos up on YouTube and on social. But had my blood work done, and I just had Ben Greenfield look at it. He also did a really cool guest blog post for us. And in a nutshell, it's just too much protein. So if you don't need it, don't use it. Don't consume it. Don't waste money, energy, time, any of those things. Don't waste it. And I came across some great videos with Paul Chek. And, oh man, the guys are called the Raw Bras. I guess they're from Hawaii. And they did some amazing interviews with Paul. And I love listening to how he talks about he eats according to how he's living. So if he's traveling a lot and not really exercising, then he's a vegetarian that day or for those days. If he is tearing down a lot of his own tissue through heavy lifting, then he will consume more animal products, more animal meats to help repair the torn tissue. But he will do only what he needs. He will train hard, which exerts physical energy, and then he will recover equally as hard. So he'll do these kind of calming, meditative recovery movements. You could see them on some of the YouTube videos, and he'll utilize those recovery movements to create a better balance. And this is something that I want you guys to really take seriously. Look at the different areas of your life, whether it's business or your career, your fitness, health, and nutrition, and any other area that you wanna make improvements on. Get rid of the shit that you don't need, that you shouldn't be implementing, that you shouldn't be wasting time, energy, or money on, and don't look back. Move forward and have that less is more approach. And you can achieve more success when you're more dialed in and you're more focused. And I know that if you think to something that you're doing, such as if you're trying to complete a project, yet at the same time as completing a project, you're cooking food, you're listening to another podcast, you're trying to learn from that podcast, and you're doing laundry, you're doing these 3, 4, 5 different things, you're probably not doing a great job at this work task that you're supposed to be getting done because you're not focused. The multitasking approach is, it's great. You could get a lot of things done, but you get them done on good. And in my book, good just ain't good enough. Good will not help you achieve a high level of success in any realm, whether it's life, relationships, health, fitness, business. Good basically sucks. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to be fucking awesome. And that means on a scale of 1 to 10, you should be a 20. So I want you to take these things into account. And I want you guys to try to do a little bit of legwork on your own. I like to work with action takers and go-getters. And I want you to go to undergroundstrength.tv. That's the blog. And you guys should look for the article. It's called the Fuck You Test. So you could probably Google that. If you're not on the newsletter, you want to make sure you're on that newsletter. I send a lot of powerful articles, motivation, inspiration. None of it is junk. And when you go to zachevnesh.com, there's a Start Here tab. Go there, and I also give you some awesome training courses as a gift for signing up, because I want to prove to you guys that there's certain information that you should be utilizing, and that you're, again, whittling away the unnecessary. So instead of going on Google or wherever else you might search, and you come across countless articles, special reports, the secret of this, the secret of that, I'm getting you straight to the point. This is what works, and my experience since 1989, I want to help you guys avoid my painful mistakes. That's extremely important to me, and that is the teacher in me. That's really the bottom line. So get over to zachevnesh.com /start-here. Go to the Start Here tab. sign up, hook you up with some awesome newsletter stuff, some awesome gifts. And we're on Stitcher, so please leave a 5-star review, guys, on iTunes and Stitcher. That helps a lot for the ratings. And if you can, just share this link on your social media pages. Share it with your friends, whoever could use the benefit from this. And hit me up on Twitter with any topics you guys want me to cover. And Inner Circle members, stand by, because right after Labor Day, I will announce the one winner who randomly will get a free book, the Encyclopedia of Underground Strength and Conditioning. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be legit. So, thanks again for listening to the Strong Life podcast, the Strongcast, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.